Hello, ladies and gents. Today is our second close read of the text. And so today we're focusing on the following essential questions. We're going to focus on essential question number 2, how do strategic readers create meaning from informational text? Number 3, what strategies and resources do I use to figure out unknown vocabulary? And number 4, what is informational text really about? As we read, we will be close reading the text. First phase as we read this section is for what the text says. So this section is 2 paragraphs in length. So your first phase, you're going to read through it and then create an objective summary of the text for each paragraph. So make sure you're creating a summary for each paragraph. As we create our summaries, we are looking at learning target number 5 to create an objective summary of a text. Remember that our summaries need to be a brief restatement, including only the most important points, staying in our own words, but leaving out our personal opinions. Make sure you're only including the facts of the text, and also make sure that you are not doing any quotations, because it should be in your own words. During phase 2 of the reading, we're going to read for how the text says it. As we reread this text the second time, we're focusing in on that new learning target that we covered last close read, which is this how words create a feeling or connotation. So for phase 2, we're going to reread the text and look at the word choice used by the author. What words used by the author create a sense of wonder, and cite text evidence to support your response. For this one, we are focusing in on learning target number 22. Learning target number 22, is looking at analyzing the impact of specific word choice on meaning. So as we look at the word choice used by the author, remember this means to look closely at the words used and think about the vibe or feeling that the words give off. We said that this is connotation, and connotation is different than tone because it's not the attitude of the author coming off the page, it's the feeling that the words themselves give off. And it's different from mood because it is not associated with how it makes the reader of the text feel. It's literally what feeling that's a common feeling that's given off by those words normally. And that's the connotation of the word. So what is the sense, that vibe or feeling the word gives off? So for question 2, you're looking at, for the vibe or feeling, you want to look for words that give off a sense of wonder, or awe is another word. And if you need to look that word up, you'll need to do that as you begin this rereading of the text to make sure you're finding a good sentence that really shows and uses words that create that sense of wonder throughout this section of the text. In the third phase of reading, we're reading for why the text matters. As we read for why the text matters, we're going to be looking at phase 3, the interaction between 2 skills. I'm asking, based on the information in this section, how does consumerism impact society? So this is a little different. Yes, I know yesterday's questions was how does consumerism impact people? I want you to think about this differently than consumerism impacting society. Yes, people are part of society, but we're thinking of people as individuals versus society as a group, and the group and cultural idea of what society is. So in this case, think about how consumerism is really impacting society as a whole based on key sentences, key cited evidence from this above section. As we read for this phase, we are looking at learning target number 6, the interaction between 2 different features of the text, such as the interaction between individuals, ideas, and events. So in this case, we're looking at how consumerism impacts society. So really consider that and think of a good key sentence. As we work through phase 2 and phase 3, you'll see that it requires you to cite specific text evidence in those sections. So please make sure that you are citing text evidence. Learning target number 1, word for word from the text in the form of a nice quote that you then can analyze and explain thoroughly after the thing. So go ahead and get working on today's close reading.